Hi, everybody. I have something really great to share with you today. I was able to attend a retreat with a organization called Mountains Move, which is a faith-based organization for veterans, and I was able to do that last summer, and I had a really great time, and I would like to share that with you today, and I hope you enjoy it. The program was started to help veterans who are struggling with their lives, that they have some kind of a mountain that they need to move, whether it's that they're struggling with their faith or there's a substance abuse issue or PTSD or something they need to help to get beyond. And they want to get around other veterans or just people that care and get away from their everyday life for a little while to reflect on what's going on. This is the founder of the program. His name is Heath Wharton. He's a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel and a graduate of the Air Force Academy, class of 1995. Heath and his wife Rachel launched Mountains Movement in 2020 in order to share the healing power of faith, wilderness, and horses. He graduated weapons school and he served on a B 52. Heath led the backcountry expeditions for more than 7 years here in central Colorado with extensive experience in mountains search and rescue. He's a firm believer in pushing personal limits as well as healing power of wilderness and equine experiences. His heart is for the hurting and the lost. He loves sharing the treasures of wilderness with others. I got to meet Heath this summer and go on the journey with him, and I can tell you that he's just a great man of God, and he has a heart for people. He just wants to love and to help people along with their journeys in life. These are some of the programs they offer at Mountains Move, which you'll see if you go to their website and take a look around. I went on the Journey program, which is a week of focused time away in the mountains for people needing to just get away and walk off their anything that they're dealing with, help to move their own private mountain. Uh, I filled out some questionnaires before when I signed up for the program, and Heath tailored a program just for me, based on the things I said in my questionnaire. And it was an amazing time to be away from home, in the solitude of the mountains, and just the beauty of God's creation. They have programs also for groups, whether it's a small group or a family. They have the Warrior Summit. They have Ridgeline Retreats. They have Mustang projects where they work with the horses. And each group is tailored towards a different final outcome. You can find a lot more information on the website. What I'm going to show you today is some of the things that I did when I was there and the amazing time that I had. So the first amazing thing that happened to me as I got involved with this organization was that I had a friend who was also a retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. His name was Keith Henderlong, and he was a C-17 pilot. And he was introducing me to this program, and he thought it would be a good fit for me to go through it myself and then maybe to be a mentor. And he was showing me a video, a promotional video, and at the time I had been praying a prayer based on Matthew 17:20, where God says, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, that's sufficient. And I was struggling with that at the time, and I had been praying that prayer saying, God, my faith is there. It may not be incredibly strong, but it's there, and you say that's all I need. So I'm depending on you. And as soon as he started showing me this video, that was the first thing they said. You need faith the size of a mustard seed. So it was right then and there I knew I was on the right track. So on the day I arrived, it was about a 3-hour drive from the airport to the location where we were going to be staying. And I was a little concerned about this because I am known to be kind of introverted. But it was such a comfortable ride talking with Heath the whole time about the week ahead and the situation and what the journey was going to be like, that the ride went by like in absolutely no time at all. Well, I just got to my room. Let me give you a little tour. So, come down this little path. Come down to here. I'm in the buffalo room. And this is
There are several different rooms here. As you can see, we've got some woods right there. We are on a mountain right now. So I'll show you my room. Here it is. I've been here about 10 minutes. I just unpacked. They left me some nice little goodies right there, especially like this piece of fudge. I love it already here. So this is gonna be my room for the next week. Some stuff there. There's a fridge full of water and some muffins and yep. So here's the room. There's the door we just came in. There's the bed. And here is my little closet. The shirts I hung up. I don't think I brought enough shirts, but here's a little bathroom area and the bathroom. Okay, bathroom is a typical bathroom. But this is my room for now. Just getting settled in, and then we're gonna go out for dinner in about an hour. Right now it's almost 4 o'clock here. So, yep, it's been an interesting day. Very easy day so far. Okay, here's a quick look at the outside. I'm a little bit lightheaded. They told me that's not a side effect of this high elevation. We're about 9,000 feet right now. So maybe I'm just dehydrated because I didn't drink much today because I didn't want to have to go to the bathroom when I was on the plane or when I was on this long ride from the airport. I am on this mountain right now. I don't know if you could see that, but we are in like a hotel lodging area that is right on the edge of a mountain. Okay, I don't know how much you can see on this video, but there's a whole entire valley out there. We're in like a valley. Well, I'm on the mountainside. That's the other side of the valley.
This was the view from my cabin up to the rest of the mountain that we were on. I thought this was a pretty good picture that I took. It reminds me of a scene in the first Rambo movie called First Blood, I believe, where he takes the motorcycle and he's driving through the local town, and you can pretty much see the mountains in the background. And it was nice. We stopped every morning grabbed a coffee in town before we headed out on our excursions. So that was really nice. I'm not going to tell you what kind of coffee Heath got, but I teased him about it for most of the week. And then I begged him not to tell anybody because by the end of the week I was drinking it too. So when I filled out my questionnaire and then I had the telephone interview with Heath, one of the things he asked me was what I was looking for on the journey and what kind of things I would like to do. And I told him that I'm not really an adventurous person. We don't have to do any crazy adventures, but I've never seen the mountains before. I've never been in the Midwest, so I just really want to see the countryside. And I'll tell you what, he went out of his way to show me every possible thing that he could, even up to the last day when we were getting ready to quit. He said, do you mind hanging out a little bit longer? There's one more place I want to show you. And at that point, we went to our highest elevation of the week, which is about 12,000 feet. And it was pretty amazing to just be higher than everything around you. And the pictures don't really do justice. But when you're heading up that mountain and you get to the top, it is pretty incredible. One of the things I enjoyed most was when we spent a night on the mountain and we camped out there, and we just had time to get away and to just reflect on life and do a lot of talking, a lot of soul searching. And I spent a lot of time just looking out over that field and sitting by the campfire, and it was a really nice time. It was a little bit high in elevation, and I found myself lightheaded as I was looking for firewood. But I guess that was kind of part of the experience, and I'm glad I did it. One of the things I noticed right away as we were driving across the countryside was pretty interesting. I noticed they were American flags posted about every 100 to 150 feet along people's properties on sides of the highway. So I asked Heath what the story was with that, and he said that in Colorado, flags are often placed along the highways as a patriotic gesture by local residents and groups. One of the groups is called the Chaffee County Patriots, and they install them to show support for our country, to honor veterans, and inspire others with a visible display of pride. I guess this was started by a family called the Shelby Davis family in 2020, and they were joined by other patriotic groups along the way. I looked up this Chaffee County Patriots group, and it's a group that got together to provide a voice for patriots throughout the community. It was formed to organize and establish in person meetings for those who are willing to educate, equip, and mobilize the community on issues affecting faith, family, and our continuous freedoms. So I thought that was pretty cool because you don't see that everywhere, and it's nice to see Americans being real Americans. So, a big part of the ministry of the organization has to do with animals, horses, for instance. And there's a whole program in Colorado where they capture wild horses in order to keep the population to a manageable level. And they either sell or they adopt these horses out to people who are willing to take them in and take good care of them and train them. So one of the things this ministry does is just that. They take these horses in and they train them, and it's quite a process to train them. And there's a whole analogy there about training a horse and bringing him into your life and building a system of trust between the two of you that Heath uses for the program to move mountains in your life. And it's, I don't want to give too much of it away, but it is pretty amazing the analogy that comes from taking a horse and bringing him from a status of a wild animal to a calm, domesticated animal that has a relationship of trust with you. I had actually never ridden a horse in my life until I came to this program. And the horses were so calm, they had been trained quite well. And he put me on one, and the horse was really good at just following the horse in front of him. So I didn't have to have many skills in order to do this ride, which was good. So on the final day, he took me up to the top of this mountain, which was around 12,000 feet, and the views were just breathtaking. And even this video doesn't do justice to how amazing it was, just to be higher than everything around you. And we got an amazing view, and I got to go right to the edge of the mountain, which was a little hairy, but it was wonderful to be there and to experience that. So, another thing I got to see is what the Continental Divide was. And I'd heard of it before, but I never experienced it. And the way it was explained to me is there's this mountain range that goes from north to south, and all the water coming down into America hits that mountain range, and it either goes to the right side or the left side. And the water that goes to the right side ends up in the Pacific Ocean, and the water that goes to the left side ends up in the Atlantic Ocean. So I learned something there. Once again, this was my final day at the program, and we were at the highest point we had been for the entire week. And it was a great way to cap off the week and just give me some things to remember about the vastness of America, things that we don't always see, and God's creation, and how amazing it is. So I was glad that I attended this trip. I was glad that I was able to experience it and meet Keith. This is a picture of us on the very last day. We became pretty good friends. So to finish things off here, I would just say, hey, if you think this is something you might be interested in, take a look at the website, maybe fill out the questionnaire and see if you get accepted to the program, and then take it from there. whether you're a veteran or someone that's still serving, or even if you're not a veteran, it's worth giving it a shot and telling Heath your story and see if he accepts you to the program, because it was definitely a life-changing experience that I would suggest that if you have the opportunity to attend, that you do.